welcome back to PechPong. Today we're going to have a match review. I am now playing in the Swedish leagues, in the second league in Sweden. It's called the Superettan League, and this was my first match in the league. We're playing against Halmstadt BTK, and I'm playing for Lyckeby BTK this year. The current standings of the league are, I think Halmstadt is in 3rd or 4th, and we are quite far down the list, so we need to do better. The match I played was against Martin Frøseth. He's from Norway, and his record in the league this year is 6-2. So he's a pretty strong player as of right now. He's got a good record. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about 3 different ways that you can receive dead serves. If dead serves give you trouble, I'm going to give you 3 effective ways to receive dead serves. And yeah, I'll be going over that at the end of the video. So to kick off this match review, I'd like to actually make a big shout out to a thing I like to call salt or electrolytes. They have been a real game changer for me. I've been using electrolytes or powdered mixes for the last 2 years, and I have found them to be extremely helpful when it comes to recovery and just keeping up the intensity during matches and during practice. I think if you're not using salts or electrolytes during your practices, then you're really missing out. And so I use this one. It's called Biosteel. I don't think it's that important which one you use, but I have found that this one is my favorite one. They don't have any artificial flavors or colors or sweeteners, no preservatives, and they're caffeine free, and they're also vegan. So I really think they hit them all with this one. I've teamed up with them, so if you want to use my coupon code PechPong to purchase them, it's either PechPong or PechPong TT. I've left the link in the description where you can find them. They're based out of Canada. And I think you get 15 or 20% off on their anything that you can order from there. But I specifically would get the electrolytes. The other products they have are great, but I think that the electrolytes are the real game changer. So right off the bat, I was told to try and find his middle, as his wings were quite consistent. Both sides, both forehand and backhand, were really good. I especially found his forehand to be very consistent and able to put a lot of pressure on me when I went right directly to his forehand. So that was kind of a goal of mine, was to kind of try and find his middle, and he was also trying to find my middle, and I think he was also pretty successful at that. As per usual, I was trying to use a lot of spin on my forehand opening loops. I really find that when I make a lot of spin, it really neutralizes their block. They can't just punch block it, and they have a hard time counter looping it. It's kind of a little bit risky for them sometimes. If they hit the shot, then it's great, but if they're missing it, then yeah, they're giving me free points. So I was trying to use a lot of spin on my opening forehand loops, and I was also trying to use my backhand flip, kind of get into rally, which is an area of the game that I like to play in, is this rally. I really felt like he mixed up his serves pretty well, some long, some short, and just kind of looking for me to make a small mistake, whether it be a weak opening on the long balls, or a kind of weak push on the short one, or kind of something that kind of leaks out, and he can get that first attack. This game was really about getting the first attack. Whoever kind of got that first attack was usually the winner of the point, so that's kind of the way it went. But I feel like this match was more about the moment-to-moment of the match, meaning trying to know what your opponent is trying to do to you, and also trying to figure out what my strengths are at that moment, kind of figuring out every point, like what's happening. Remembering where he went, remembering what he did. Did he miss a backhand last point? Is he going to be a little bit more cautious on that next one? Did he hit to my backhand the last time? Did he try to go down the line? Just like really moment-to-moment stuff. I think that's what was really important in this match, was to focus on point by point what was happening. So it kind of would swing one way or the other, and we'd get a run of points because someone gets the momentum and the other one loses it, and then kind of sharing that same slice of pie that we both wanted. And so that's kind of how the game went. It's not like he was a defensive player and I was offense, and we're kind of going like that. It was, I feel like we were really fighting over the same strategy, and whoever was like moment to moment thinking better was able to come out on top. A lot of the games I found myself down 2 or 3 points, so having that mental stamina to believe I can come out on top was definitely a factor of this game, and I felt like a couple games there I was really able to do that and to kind of flip it on him when he was winning for most of the game. There was one little tactic I used that I'd like to share, and I think it's a pretty good tactic as it can be used pretty universally. And it's to mix up serving short and medium-long heavy backspin, just straight underspin to their backhand. And the reason why I do this, and the reason why I did this in this match, was because if I played the short one, it was very easy for him to play short. But if I mix in a few medium-long ones, then I felt like I was getting a few medium-long returns back, because my distance and my energy on the ball was more because it was medium-long, and he had a hard time keeping it short, which then would give me that first attack. And the cool thing is that a lot of times your opponent is not really looking for that half-long ball, so they're not ready to attack because you serve short a few times. So that's something that I definitely used in this match, and I'm pretty sure he was well aware of it when it happened, but I was able to get a few good points off of that kind of strategy. So that's all I have to say for the rest of this match. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I probably will be playing him again at some point later on in the season, as we play the teams twice. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, stick around to the end of the video to get that little tip on pushing dead balls.
Stay away from his corners. Yes.
Alright, so now on to the second part of the video, which is the return against no spin serves. The 3 returns that I've seen that top players do. And I'll go through them, and maybe you can find one that's right for you, and you can practice it. So the first one we're going to go over is the return on the side of the ball. And this can go for forehand and backhand. And so basically what you're doing is you're touching on the side of the ball. Let me go get a ball. All right, we're back with the ball. All right, so basically what you're doing is you're touching on the side of the ball. The ball can't really go up because you're not touching underneath it, and it can't really bounce up if it's hitting the side. So that's the first return. And this one is really good for if you want to play off the side of the table, either to their forehand or their backhand, and really get them to move wide. And this is really great for if you are a defensive player or you're a counter-attacker. So they're going to probably come in and try to loop the ball if it's on the side of the table. Maybe you can make a good block or a nice counter loop. And sometimes people don't even like to loop that ball, and so they push it. And what you get is a nice open free attack. They're out of position, and maybe you can win the point. So that's the first return. I think it's a really great return. I've used it and want to start using it more in the games. Second return, and that is on the underneath the ball. Now I know I just said that underneath the ball is no good because the ball bounces up, but that's true unless you're able to make a lot of friction on the ball. And so with this return, the goal is to try and make a lot of spin very quickly. And I think of the three returns, this one is the more advanced one because it really takes good acceleration on moment of contact to make good spin. And what you really want to do is feel like the ball is rolling up the racket when you're touching this one. And a really good drill to get that is actually to just have a table and try and just bounce the ball once and try to make a really good friction on the ball. And you'll feel it when you're able to get the ball to come back to you on the table. There's enough spin to make it return. And that's when you know you get a lot of spin. And what this does is it actually stops the ball from bouncing because it's too busy getting friction on your blade, and so it stays a little bit lower. Now this one is a little bit tougher to keep short because you're putting so much action on the ball. It usually tends to leak medium long or go long. Occasionally it'll go short if you have really good feeling for the shot. But the good news is if it's medium long or long, your opponent still has to work really hard to loop that ball because it has a ton of backspin. And so this one is a little bit more of a, I would say, a safe shot because no matter what, your opponent has to work. So even if you kind of miss it and it's a little bit high, it still has a lot of backspin. Even if you try to keep it a little bit short and it goes a little bit long, it still has a lot of backspin, and they got to loop it. Typically, you're going to be ready to block after and then get into rally, but at least you didn't give them any free shots. What you really don't want is that nothing push where you just get underneath the ball and it just kind of sails high and they're getting that free opening attack to anywhere they want. The next one, and it's the last one, is to try and touch the back of the ball. So we're not touching underneath the ball. We're now trying to touch on the back of the ball. And a little tip that my German coach gave me, he worked with Chuang Chi Yuan, and he said that when you do this return on the back of the ball, it's really important against dead serves that you don't go all the way down. And the reason why you don't go all the way down on this one is because the ball tends to like to roll up the racket and go high. So he said what you want to do is kind of go down but stop like halfway through. Don't complete the motion. And this is what really gets the ball to stay nice and low, is that half action. And I've done this one in the past. It's a very effective serve return. It's a great way to keep it short and also kind of keep it in the middle of the table. And just to kind of neutralize what your opponent has to do. I think it's the most easy way to keep it short if that's what you're trying to do. The other ones were more tailored to making it more difficult for them to get an easy attack. So if you like these returns and you feel like one of them suits you better, then yeah, go for it. Use it as much as you want, and hopefully these help you to play better against dead serves. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.